Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to upcycle a metal tea can. We're going to use this as storage. For my metal can, I decided to go with a Halloween theme. So if you'd like to create one too, I'd love if you joined me. Okay, so for this, you will need one metal tea can. I'm reusing one of my metal tea cans, and it also has a lid. You also need some acrylic paint. I'm using black. And then I also have a darker green. And then I have white acrylic paint as well. I'm also using two paintbrushes, a sponge brush and a smaller paintbrush. And then I have some bronze acrylic paint. And then you'll just need some faux leaves. And then I'm using these little dowel caps, wooden caps. And then you'll also need a heating tool. Okay, so here I'm going to start off with applying my acrylic paint to the metal can. If you'd like, you can start off by using some sandpaper and gently sanding down the surface of your metal can. Okay, so I decided to mix both my black acrylic paint and my dark green together. Keep in mind that you will need a few coats of paint to give your metal can complete coverage. Okay, so once you have applied your first coat of paint, you'll go ahead and use your heating tool to make sure everything's completely dry. So you'll just use the heating tool. This is just going to help dry the paint faster. And then once you've done this, you'll then apply your second coat of paint to your tin can. And like I said, you may need a third for complete coverage. And then you'll just repeat this again with your heating tool. You'll just take that and dry the acrylic paint that you applied onto your metal can. Okay, so once you have completed applying the paint to your metal can, you'll just go ahead and set it aside. And now you're going to work on applying some of your acrylic paint to your lid. So what I'm doing here is I'm just applying that mixture of black and the darker green to a portion of my lid, just the top portion of the lid. I decided not to go around the sides of the lid. I'm just doing the top. Okay, so now we're ready to apply some acrylic paint to the wooden cap. So I decided to use my darker green for this. I'm just using my smaller paintbrush and I'm going to apply the paint to the wooden cap. And I'm just applying it to a portion of it. Next, I'm going to actually take the hot glue, and that's when I will attach that to the middle of the metal lid. And then I will finish off applying my acrylic paint to the wooden cap. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my hot glue, and then I'm going to turn over my wooden cap and apply some of the hot glue on the bottom section of the wooden cap. Once I've done that, I will attach the wooden cap to the middle of the metal lid. And after doing that, I will continue to apply my green acrylic paint to the wooden cap. Okay, and as I mentioned earlier, I decided to use some bronze paint. So what I'm going to do is apply some of the paint to my finger, and I'm just going to add a few streaks onto the tin can. I'll just do that in a few areas on the tin can. This is optional. I think it looks really pretty. So once you've done that, then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so now I'm going to take my white acrylic paint and I'm just going to create a few ghosts onto the metal tin. Okay, so now that you have created your ghost, you'll just take some black acrylic paint and a smaller paintbrush to create the eyes for your ghost. Okay, so next I decided to add some flower embellishments to my metal can. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to apply some hot glue, and be sure to protect your fingers when working with hot glue. And I'm just applying that to the top, to the head of the ghost, and then I'll just glue on one of the flower embellishments, and I'll continue this around my metal can. And then after, I also have some blue fabric flowers that I'm going to also add onto the metal can as well. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I have these little blue fabric flowers that I'm going to attach to my metal can. I just thought they were really cute. Be sure to use any embellishments that you may have. I had most of these on hand, so if you don't, you can easily find some colorful gems or fabric flowers, or just these little. The flower embellishments, I believe I got those at Hobby Lobby. So if you're wondering, they have those at Hobby Lobby. Okay, so to finish off this storage decoration, I decided to add on some faux leaves and this faux branch that is attached to the leaf. So I'm just going to apply some hot glue and then I will attach that to the wooden cap. Okay, so once you have attached your leaf and your faux branch, your storage is complete. I love how this turned out. This was such a great upcycle project, and this can be used to store so many things. And if you'd like, you can even store some Halloween candy inside of the metal can. Thank you all so much for coming along and creating this with me. I'll see you soon.